Good morning. How you doing, everybody? This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah LaVern, and this is one street over. I got to get that music turned down. I know it's a little bit too loud, but anyway, we are starting a brand new week, starting a brand new month. Hey, happy April Fool's Day. Don't let anybody trick you up. Remember that it is the day that everybody likes to pull pranks, and I handle the sign at the Greenbrier High School. And my husband, we were trying to come up with something fun that I could put on there, you know, like a little April Fool's joke. And he says, you should put on there, no school today, April Fool's. I said, Dr. Osborne would wring my neck. She'd be like, don't you do that, LaVern. We don't, you know. So I couldn't come up with anything I thought was benign enough to not cause a stir. So I didn't put anything up. It's just there's nothing. I took the Easter sign down this morning and just kind of left it blank for the moment. But how are you doing, Bill?
I don't know. all this pollen has gotten to me.
Yeah, all the stuff in the air is
worse than I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I tell you, and I think the older we get,
well, that may be the case. I'm getting ancient.
Well, and I'll tell you, my mother got to where she had allergies. I mean, growing up, you take advantage or you take for granted that you're not going to have, certain allergy issues when you've grown up in the country and all of that. Yeah. And so, and I was telling Bill, I got stung as I was heading out the door this morning. And I've gotten stung so many times in my life, it's not even funny. So I don't think anything about it. But sometimes your chemistry in your body can change. So I thought, well, I hope I don't have a reaction to it. But that's the reason I'm holding a nice pack, is I got a little bugger bit me as I was trying to pack my lunch. And it's like, spring. Welcome to it. April Fool's Day. Don't let anybody pull anything on you.
Before we get into anything, There's been a change in forecasting of weather. This is not April Fool's. This is
okay.
This stuff
is
coming
real.
in early. Both been on the marginal edge. It's changed. It's gotten worse. But remember, a few months ago when we had tornadoes, we were in the marginal area. Mm-hmm. So,
are you talking about for tomorrow?
I'm talking about today and tomorrow. Today, late today, they changed it. They moved it up until late today too.
Because I saw the forecast this weekend you gave us.
Yeah, okay. But I just changed it before I came over here.
Okay.
But tomorrow it's going to be a booger, and I hate to tell everybody all this stuff and it not happen. You never know. But a couple of months ago when we had that tornado here, we were in the marginal area. We're higher risk now than marginal.
Okay.
Tomorrow. So we're going to have some high winds today, rain later this afternoon, and this stuff is moving in. But if you will look on the map that I put on Robeson County weather, it looked like it was going up in Kentucky mainly. Now that's dropped down. It's coming right across us.
Okay.
Now, so
about what time?
Well, it was Tuesday night. Now it's, probably in the middle of the day now, Tuesday, middle of Tuesday. But a lot of stuff's going to happen before then, so it's no telling. Just be on alert and watch your news.
Can we get home from school before you think it'll come on in here this afternoon, or do you think it'll be while we're in
this
school?
Afternoon? No, it'll be okay in school.
Okay.
It won't be till late this afternoon tonight or something, the hard stuff.
Okay.
But it will be very windy today. It's going to get on up 20, 30 mile per hour.
Okay.
So anyway, be watchful for that because it's very unpredictable. We've been looking at it for a week. It's coming. And by the way, on the other side of it, looks like next Monday where the eclipse is happening, we're going to have pretty good weather where we can watch the eclipse.
Well, and that's the reason I wanted Bill to come in here. He messaged me with some details about the eclipse, and I'm like, no, I want you to come in because the eclipse is happening next Monday. So, and if if you're going to, be off, if you're going to take some time, I was talking to my daughter-in-law. She goes, I've got a doctor's appointment. She goes, I'm going to be in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
But it's going to be happening. The totality point where it's at its most intense is around 2:00 on Monday next week, right? I think that's what I've
but
seen.
You want to watch before then,
Yeah, and it actually starts, I'm wanting to say, just after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well, that's when it crosses Texas. Starts crossing there. But
okay.
I tell you what, they're having Ace Timmermeyer has organized a group to meet at Stewart Williams parking lot.
Oh,
now
okay.
Stewart Williams is going to have 125% off sale of their recliners. And they're going to have the parking lot full of recliners.
Okay.
And if you go inside, you can get a free sandwich.
Okay.
April Fools.
I was going to say 125% off. I'm like, well, that would be free,
Right.
and then they'd give you some money. So you were
said
going.
that-
I was like, what?
I saw your eyes looking sort of
I was
puzzled.
like, what?
No.
So are they going to do
No,
some
they
kind
are
of an
going.
event?
They
You're
are going to
funny.
do that Stewart
Here, I was sitting there talking about April Fools, and
a
you're
week
trying
from
to
today.
pull one
So
on me. Oh.
I would say if you're coming to that, sit out in the parking lot. Bring a lawn chair that you can lean back because you're going to be looking straight up.
Right.
So bring a lawn chair you can sit up with, and be sure you have regulation glasses. Like I got some right here, and if you want to, sometimes they'll say on there that they're regulation, they're not. But how you can tell, if you'll take your glasses and put them on, you should not be able to see anything.
Right.
Like we've got a strong light on us right here, and I cannot see anything through there.
Right.
So if you can see something, don't use them.
Okay.
So
Well, and I just, teachers, we spend our own money. I bought a pack of glasses for my class. So when they're in my classroom, they can use them. I'm not going to let them take them out of there because I had all my students
you all
asking
go
me,
outside during this time?
I can.
Okay.
But now, see, I'm going to be in Kentucky. That's
Oh.
a day that I'm actually off on
Okay,
next Monday,
okay.
and I'm going to be in Kentucky. We're working on getting Mama and Dad's house empty. And so we've scheduled that day to pack up a lot of stuff. And so we're going to be up there. And so I told the kids, I said, well, we'll have a sub. And I said, I'll leave instructions for them to let y'all go out here and, use the glasses. But I said, I'll talk to them all week about it. But, I think it'll, it's one of those things. We had a party at our house when the last one came through in 2017. We had friends some friends that I had met when I was working at the Blaze that came in. I forget what state they were living. They're originally from Utah, but I can't remember where they were from at the time. But they've lived just all over the country, and they're like, "Can we come to your house and view it?" And they ended up staying with us a couple of days. We had the best time, and I had. Some of my kids came home, and we had a good time. I know Corbin Creek, man. They had a big old party, and they had like a camp out and had people coming in. And
we had a party at my sister's backyard last time, 2017.
Yeah.
Now these things are not going to come around every few years. This is the last one that I will see because the next one is 2045.
Okay.
I'll be 100 years old, so I don't think I won't be there.
You never know, buddy. You never know. But, you just never know. But I'll be in my 80s. Good land. Goodness. But we'd have to travel to see it because in 2045, the nearest it will be to us, it'll be coming across.
Yeah, it won't even be coming across us.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a biggie.
Yeah, we've been very, blessed to be able to see these. And this one in 2045, is it the wideness of that? Does that mean it's going to be longer or? Because you see the 2024.
That's now. You're pointing to the yellow one.
No, I was looking at this.
Okay,
one.
yeah.
See how
it's wider. Yeah.
And you see this one was more.
Remember
narrow.
the little gray one? That's the one we had in
was the one we
2017.
had. Okay.
It's as half as wide as one it's going to be next Monday.
But now, okay, so, and again, I had Bill come in. We've got Jessica Drake coming in from the sheriff's office. We missed our interview with her last time, and I can't remember why. I think something happened with her schedule. But I've got Bill in here today because with the eclipse coming up next Monday, I want to be sure that, you kind of get in your head. It's like, okay, it's a week from today and make your plans because it's cool. And this is the last one you're going to get to see for a while. And now these big eclipses, we still have little small eclipses though, don't we? Or do we not?
No, not around here.
Not around
They
here?
will be in other parts of the world.
Okay.
But this is the last one that we will see in Tennessee in our lifetime.
Eclipse.
Until 2045, we won't see it. It'll come across the United States, but not us.
I remember us having eclipses whenever I was a kid, though. But
Well,
maybe
it could have.
smaller
There was
ones?
one in 1918. You remember that one?
No, I'm talking about like 60s and 70s. I just remember maybe shorter.
There was one.
eclipse.
Well,
Or lunar eclipses.
that in 1918, the Sounds were playing baseball and they lost because they they thought the eclipse caused that.
how
Now I
funny.
don't know. I don't know of one.
Huh.
As a kid, I don't remember
Okay.
that.
I don't know. For some reason, I remember.
I don't have a record of it, but it
Yeah,
may be.
I don't know. For some reason, I remember us making glasses or something like that when we were in school. You know,
Did you ever make a box with a hole
Yeah,
in it, that
yeah,
type thing? Maybe
yeah.
that's what you did, but
but maybe it was just that's how you view an eclipse. But
I don't know. That's a good question. Somebody
Okay.
may type in on the
But,
Facebook what it is.
But this is a big one, and if you can see any part of it, you want to definitely experience it. That's one of the things I've been trying to make sure my kids understand that. And of course, the littlest ones won't ever know the difference, but the ones like my almost 8-year-old grandson, he'll remember it. So I think they're doing something at his school, and I gave them some glasses as part of their Easter gift to make sure they had some this weekend. But anyway, so we're talking with Bill Jones. If you have any weather questions, if you have any eclipse questions, this is a good time to get those to him. But
it would not be a good time to make April Fool jokes about weather because we've got some serious stuff coming in here today and tomorrow.
Okay. And so just, be aware
and
of it.
I always see people, well, nothing happened last time and you said it was going to, just, you never know.
You better believe it.
But this time there's some what they call storm fuel for tornadoes and hail. It's there. It's more this time than it was when we had tornadoes a couple of months ago.
Ugh,
it's more likely to happen. So we don't have, a lot of people think we have more tornadoes. We don't. We have the same amount average that we've always had. We just have a bigger population, so we're more effective. And somebody asked me at the time before, how come the TV stations don't cover Springfield on the tornado? Because no one got killed. They did other places, so they're going to gravitate to those areas.
Well, and it's the same thing.
We were very fortunate.
Yes, we were.
Well, we came close.
I'm so proud of our city. I mean, they're putting those buildings back and getting it done. I said, all you got to do is go look at Mayfield and see the comparison. I mean, we're 2.5 years out, and they've not done anything, Bill.
I've seen some
our
pictures.
Downtown square still looks like
it
was,
a lot of money.
Well, you figure we had to go through. I mean, my mother, passed at the first of the year and day after Christmas, and so her funeral was on New Year's Day, and so all the family had to come to Mayfield. And my daughter-in-law, she goes, it's like an apocalypse or something there. She says it looks like something from The Walking Dead
awful.
In the downtown square still. I was like, yeah, it really does. And it's just crazy.
One person told me when they had a hurricane down in Louisiana somewhere, they said, well, I went down there and I'm from there, but I couldn't tell where I was because all the street signs were gone and the houses are gone. So I didn't know where I was. And I never thought of that.
It is. It's super weird to go back. I mean, it's bizarre. But just this weather's a serious
I'll just say this,
guys. So
if you live in a trailer or mobile home,
please don't
get out of there.
Get out of it. Don't do that.
Just go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a long,
Go to Walmart. But, I mean, these big super stores and stuff, they are well made unless if it's not a metal building, if it's a concrete building.
Somebody told me
that's a really good place to go and visit while storms are coming through. If you're living in something that's very.
Somebody told me they were in Kroger's when it happened, when it hit, and some people just kept shopping. They kept trying to tell them, move to the back, and get away from the front windows. Some of them wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's just so much hearing of, hey, it's going to be bad, and it's not.
And then they just,
they're
like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But we had, I talk a lot about Phil Valentine. He was a dear friend, and his brother lived down in Hurricane Alley. And I remember back when we were on the air, we'd always, I forget, what is his name? I can't remember, but they'd call him Hurricane. That was his nickname because he was never going to leave. And he would call in on the radio show in the middle of a dad blame hurricane. And I remember that so well, but I forget his name, but it was, it made for funny radio, but it was dangerous, and, so anyway, talking with Bill Jones. If you have any eclipse questions, get your glasses and get ready for next Monday. And we're going to have him come in again Monday morning next week. And he's going to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of recap, talk about the timeline on it, when you're going to be able to see the most of it. As far as the peak here, it's right around 2 o'clock. is whenever it's going to go dark. And I mean, I remember last time.
I wouldn't wait till then, though. I'd get out earlier.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you, I'll remember last time when it went to the complete totality where it went black, the crickets started chirping and the frogs are croaking. And
chickens go to roost.
Yeah.
Temperature even drops.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird, and the dogs started howling like, "What is going on?" So it was interesting to watch the animal reaction.
We don't have a totality. We have 96%,
but it'll get
which is
dark.
good enough. Yeah,
that'll get.
I watched
dark.
a simulation of it, of what it looked like, but that's plenty for us, and that'll last for 2 hours and 35 minutes. All of that, what we're going to see. So that's twice as what it was last time.
Yeah. Awesome.
And the area is like 125 miles wide, where before it was about half of that in 2017. So it's going to be a good event. Real good.
So too. Well, it's going to be exciting. So next Monday, don't miss the eclipse. It's going to be a good day to be looking at the sky, but get your glasses. Let me go ahead and take a break here and let's pause for a moment. And then we'll continue our conversation with Bill Jones. He is in the house to visit with us to talk about all things eclipse because we are on top of it, guys. But let's go ahead and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. For so many years, we said the Exit Realty Garden Gate team, but they took and they're still part of the great exit tree. That's the way I've been describing it. They just took their two offices, Rebecca's office in White House, she's an agent there, and Barry is the broker here in Springfield. They took and combined those two offices to bring you Exit Prime Realty. So great team, great new branch of the Exit Tree, but the same great team. If you want to give Rebecca a call, 615-504-7425. Reach out to them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buyrobertsoncounty.com. They specialize in Robertson County properties, of course, because they're cross-Plainians. They've been there 28 plus years, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line up in Kentucky. And they have got everything you need from homes and businesses, and they can help you if you want to be a realtor. Anything you've got going on, and they're also full of information right now for the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. They came to as a matter of fact, Barry was there on Friday at the Vietnam Vets event. And I forgot to go by and say hi. I'm so sorry, Barry. But we had a great time out there. But get ready. Save the date for the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. It's May 17th and 18th. And it's going to be at Kilgore Park out in Cross Plains. They're putting in a bathroom. They're renovating the barn. It's so awesome. I talked to Faye about that the other day as well. She was at the event. And it's going to be a good time, guys. I'll be there, and I hope you will be as well. But don't wait until the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival to talk to Barry and Rebecca. Get in touch with them today. Again, Exit Prime Realty, Barry and Rebecca Richards. Rebecca's number 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Always, please let them know you turned some check. Bill Jones is in the house. He is here to talk all things eclipse. Anything that we're missing that...
well, there was one in 2010, but it wasn't here. It was in the United States, but we didn't experience it. So I was just looking back to see. Yeah. And I don't find anything like you mentioned, but I tell you what you can do. If you don't have the glasses, you can take a cardboard box, put a little pinhole in one side, let the sun shine through it to a white piece of paper, and you can watch the eclipse on the white piece of paper inside the box.
Yeah.
Or, now this you won't believe, you'll think it's April Fool. Use a kitchen colander. Colander.
Yeah.
I mean, it has little holes in it for water to drain out. You can hold that up against a white piece of paper, and it will do it. It would be miniature, small, not very large, but that will work if you want something unique. But other than that, don't look straight at the sun until the full eclipse. You can.
Okay.
Now, there's some things that I want to mention that you strange events of the solar eclipse. First of all, we have partial eclipse. That means the sun, you can see part of the sun. You still can't look at it directly when a partial eclipse, only during the full eclipse. They have what they call shadow bands. And what shadow bands are, if you lay a white sheet on the ground, a large white something, a sheet, you'll see these little gray and white bands fluttering across the sheet slowly. And that's due to irregular atmospheric refractions of light, but they're called shadow bands. You have something called Bailey's beads, and when you see the full eclipse around the edge of the moon, you see these irregular little rough places, and it's called Bailey, named after a guy named Bailey, of course. But what they are is the mountains on the moon. They're little indentations and hills, and when you see that on the edge, that's the edge of the moon. And also, you'll have diamond ring effect. Diamond ring is when you see the little Bailey beads on the edge and the sun just creeping up in the center. Looks like a diamond ring. That's why they call it there. And then totality, you know what that is. But one thing unique with this time is that the sun has a solar activity 11 years of solar flares. Right now, we're at the peak of solar flares. It's a lot happening right now. So we're likely to see a solar flare during the time of full totality, or as close as we can get. You might see little flares jumping off around the edge, and those are solar flares from the sun shooting up into the sky, shooting up in the atmosphere.
That's cool.
That sends plasma radiation, plasma down to us, and it's called solar winds, and it affects our geomagnetic activity on the Earth. It affects radio waves. Sometimes we don't notice it. Sometimes stations are weaker or noisier, AM stations especially. So that is a very likely, I hope I see that. You can't hardly see solar flares unless you have special equipment of darkening and all that like that. But with this eclipse, I think we could see that, because I know there's one big flare going on right now on the very edge of the sun that's moving around toward us. As we look at it, it'll be moving from right to left. But that's a good possibility, and you never know what else is going to show up. So that's what I'm looking for. I'd like to see the solar flares.
I'd love to find my son sent up a weather balloon the last one and got some amazing footage and amazing pictures. I was just trying to see if I couldn't find them. I'm not.
How high did he go?
I don't know. That would be
weather balloons go to maybe 100,000, 130,000 feet.
He got some incredible footage. I mean, just incredible footage. And he is really, a lot of the things I know about photography and videography and stuff I've learned from my son, because he's just always been a novice, and it's kind of been a hobby for him. But they're considering sending up a weather balloon again for this one.
Yeah.
And they did the last one. Yeah, they did the last one. They were in Cookeville. He didn't come home for that one. He stayed in Cookeville because he was in school at the time, and they had a club that was working with space stuff. And if he were not such a big guy, he would have loved to have been an astronaut. But it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Some of the video he's got, though, is just
I was reading.
I'll try to send it to you. Yeah.
That reminded me. I was reading just yesterday about a guy is going to the astronaut program, and he's a Muslim. So they have to pray so many times a day facing east. Well, that's going to be a problem for him in a spaceship that's going around and around and around. First of all, it's going to be hard for him to kneel because he's floating around. Plus, he doesn't know where east is.
Oh, man.
And the timing is going to be, it's sundown and sunrise. So they're having to come up with some special rules just for him.
Oh, bless.
Oh, me.
But we're just a week away, guys, and this is, it just doesn't happen every day.
No.
So
you won't see it again.
Yeah, you need to pay attention, and I mean, this is going to be the last time we're going to have
it. Better than the last one. Better is twice as long as the last one.
So that's pretty cool. That's
more coverage.
Cool. But we're going to go. I'm going to be up in Kentucky that day. Just so happens that's the day we're going to be working with some stuff with my parents' home. So I'm going to be up there. But if you're in this, I mean, just don't miss this opportunity, guys. It's really cool to see. And as I'm looking at it, with us not being right there on it, though, we're not going to have. Even though we're not going to have. So you say it's even better than the last one. Will we be able to have, you're talking about the white on the ground. Can we do that here still?
Yeah,
I thought you had to be in totality for that.
Well, it'll work at 96%. That's not much different.
That's true. That's true.
I did it last time. I didn't see it.
We did it too. And some of my friends I told you that came in from out of town, their kids did it. And they swear they saw it. I'm not sure I did.
Well, it's very faint.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not sure I
you got to
did.
use a real white sheet.
We did. We had a white sheet
Yeah.
spread out in the yard, and they swear they saw it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a fun day. It was a big old party. So I hope everybody will have some good time. And
Now, this totality is 125 miles wide.
wow.
Where last time it was about half of that.
Yeah,
The last one, 2017.
Fun stuff. Anything else we're missing? I saw Jessica come in out there.
No, that's all I have for right now. The next Monday we'll
We'll
have
go
some
back
more.
over it. Sounds good. Sounds
keep
good.
that.
Oh, Mark says he saw the little squiggly things on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Hubby?
Yeah.
Because, but I mean, we had it all set up because the kids. I mean, we
Now, you
didn't
might
know
see a
that.
few little Martian satellites going around too. But
April Fools. Today's April Fools. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody fool you.
Okay.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Bill Jones in the house. Always fun to talk to him. And as he makes the switch and we get Jessica on in here, let's go ahead and talk about Veterans Motorplex. Veterans Motorplex, they are gearing up, getting ready for racing. We are already in racing season, as we've talked about. We went ahead and started their commercials back up because Jerry's like, man, he goes, I don't want people to wonder why we're not racing yet because they're making improvements to the track. So he said they will be ready to go here very, very soon. And he said, just sit tight. And that's the eclipse pattern. So, yeah. So, but he says you can actually go to Highland Rim Speedway. If you go and follow them at Highland Rim Speedway, you'll see their interviews and a lot of fun. They had an interview last week that you're going to definitely want to, check out some of the legends in the area. So go and check them out and just see what's happening. We are in racing season, getting the improvements made. We may even be racing this weekend coming up now because he had said last time we talked that they were going to race either the first or second weekend in April. So we'll get a complete update from him this week to see what's going to be happening this weekend. But we are getting ready to start racing, and it is going to be a lot of fun. If you want to go to the old Highland Rim Speedway is where we're talking about. Same place, but now when you get there, when you go to their social media page, you'll see Veterans Motorplex. They changed the name, but they kept the social media page. But they have got so much fun going on, and they want to invite you to come out with that special family ticket prices, a family fun atmosphere. There's no alcohol served, so you're just going to have a good old fashioned concession stand with burgers and hot dogs and popcorn and all those things. But they're located at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. There's a $40 ticket that will get up to 8 people in, up to 6 kids and 2 adults. They're going to do those big family passes again this year, so get ready for racing. It is racing season in Robertson County. When you get out there, please always let them know that U-Turn sent you, my friend. Jessica Drake's in the house. So why did we miss last time? I can't remember.
I feel like we've missed a couple.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, I know.
I think one was the weather.
Yeah. That's what. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
It was icy. That was it.
Icy, and then spring break.
Okay.
Because I was going to say want to say it was back to back that we weren't able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
went
then the
to
one
get my little
before
boy
that.
on the road.
Yeah, the one before that I think was Sheriff was in here, and so I haven't talked.
I believe so.
I haven't talked to you
yeah,
forever.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
You look rested to be a young mom. How's
Well,
Tommy?
we did have a 3-day weekend, so that was nice.
Well, there's that.
He's good. He had a great Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had he did really good with the Easter egg hunt. A lot better than I thought he would. He actually understood the concept of getting eggs and putting it in the bucket. And all that, so that was really good.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun at this age. We went to Jackson to see my youngest grandson, he'll be 5 months old at the on the 5th, and so he's just like. He's just starting to see stuff. He's like just kind of coming. It was so funny because they change so much at this age. It's just so much fun to watch. But yeah, we were with them, and the others are getting older, and they're like intense about it. So it's like throwdown. We're hunting eggs. I got one of mine's almost 8 years old, and he's like, oh, I got this. He's all about it. But happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy April Fools. Don't let anybody pull a trick on you
Yeah.
today. Remember, it's April Fool's Day, y'all. I'm going to spoil it for everybody. Don't let them Well, I was sitting here. I said that, and then Bill started talking about something, and he goes, April Fools. I'm like, I'm so gullible. I started to put something silly on the sign out in front of Greenburn. I couldn't come up with anything that I thought was benign enough that I wouldn't get in trouble for, so I just left it. I didn't put anything up. So April, happy April. And the weather, did you listen to y'all? We've got some nasty weather coming in tonight and tomorrow.
It looks like it. Yep.
Yeah. So be careful. Mm-hmm. Be careful. He says it's actually more severe in the prediction than what we had that brought the tornadoes through.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I mean, we may not get it. It can move a little bit, but just be super cautious. And he says later today and tomorrow, that's when we're seeing some of this nasty weather come through. So get ready for it. And then the eclipse next Monday. Mm-hmm. Are y'all expecting anything weird with the eclipse? The sheriff's office going to be out? Are there any parties that you're going to monitor or anything like that?
I haven't heard anything yet, but of course, I mean, the last time we had one, I think we were like the prime location for it or something.
Everybody came.
Yes. Yeah. And we had everything set up for all that. So of course, it's
very different.
We'll be out and about and checking on things. And, if you're going to stop for the eclipse, don't do it in the middle of the road. Please pull over.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, but enjoy it safely.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That's all I can say.
I just can't imagine people. And this is going to be.
People do.
This is going to be going on long enough that I can't imagine people just stopping. I mean, it's going to start around. Well, I had said something about it starting at 10. That's in other states as it comes across. Here, we're going to start seeing it just after 12.
Yeah.
And then it will be in its peak, I think, at 2. Mm-hmm. And then it'll start pulling back. So, I mean, it's going to be going on for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like you got to, you can pull into the parking lot and hang out if you want to, or just make plans now to take some time off. And, I'm going to be up in Kentucky packing up mom and dad's house. And so, we're going to be actually up in totality. So, anyway, I told my kiddos, I said, I'll make sure I got them some glasses. You got to get Tommy some little glasses.
Yeah.
So he can experience. He won't remember it at all. But see, there's another one in 2045, but it's not going to be coming through here. So. Yeah. Well, what do we need to talk about? What have you got? What have you got? Hot topic right now? Summer safety and all that.
Yeah, I know. Normally we do a lot of summer safety in what I think is it our May one?
Yeah.
That we do.
Yeah.
We do summer safety. I will say, with it being spring and warmer weather coming up, people are starting to get their lawnmowers serviced and things like that. Just remember, warmer weather brings out all the thieves and the criminals a little bit more. They're out of hibernation, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So just remember to be vigilant on keeping your buildings locked, keeping any of your equipment locked up, making sure that you've got your serial numbers written down, stored safely, pictures of all your equipment. You can contact Detective Terry Morris at the Sheriff's Office for the Farm Watch program, where we have the Smart Water. Mm-hmm. That's just an extra safety precaution that you can do for identification purposes if any of your equipment is stolen. Just be vigilant.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that safety water is something that Mark has been talking about with his kids at the, in the criminal justice class up at Springfield, and it's something. Explain to people, they're like, "What's safety water?" Can you explain that?
Yeah. So basically, Smart Water it comes in literally. It looks like a tube of lip gloss, like a clear tube of lip gloss, but it's pretty much almost like your own little DNA kit type thing.
Yeah.
It has, it's like over 50, 75 or something different types of metals in it that creates a very specific combination of a code for you. And you just take it and you swipe it on to the equipment that you're wanting. It can go on farm equipment, tractors, trailers, lawnmowers, jewelry, firearms, tools, anything like that. And it's good for 5 years on your equipment. And basically, if it's stolen, we have a special UV light that we use that's only for Smart Water. And so say we go and look at the pawn shops or something like that, we can take that Smart Water and we can scan it over that equipment. And if we see it, we can scrape it off and send it to the lab, and it will come back to your name and your information because we've registered that specific smart water to you. Okay. And it only goes to you. And we have solved crimes with that before.
That was going to be my next question. Have you actually had it benefit to where you've been able to solve something? That's cool. Yep. I mean, that's just technology.
It's proven to work.
That is so cool. And I mean, and if you're somebody that has a lot of farm equipment, when we had the roofing company, we would have been very grateful to have this. We don't have anything. We don't have anything like that anymore. Yep. So it's not a big issue for us. But when we had theft was enormously a problem. We had somebody steal a generator off a roof one time. We had a generator that had been lifted onto a roof, and somebody stole it off of a flat roof. Now, you tell me how in the world they did that. But, I mean, theft is just such an issue. And like you said, when it comes out this warm weather, mowers and things like that will go missing so fast. You gotta take care of them.
Yeah,
so
take care of your stuff. I mean, it's unfortunate that, you have to be so like that with your property and things, but, we don't live in a perfect world.
No.
And reality is you have to take those measures.
For sure. So we're talking with Jessica Drake. She is the Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office. Yes. Did I get it right?
Yes,
yeah, I'm so proud of myself. Very good. We just, if you have any questions for her, I don't have anything really. It's so funny. You'll call me and say, do you have any questions? I'll reach out to people time and time again and say, hey, Sheriff's Office is coming in. Do y'all have any questions? Just tell them we love them and they're doing a good job. Because
which we always appreciate. We always love that. We are very fortunate to have an amazing community to work for. There are some areas that don't have the privileges that we have with having a community that supports you. They make our job a lot easier. That's for sure.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, I will let you, let's see here. I'm going to let you look at Aaron's question there. And I don't know if you want to say anything or not, but we talked a little bit about that. But, I mean, I don't know.
It's an open case.
Yeah.
And
so we no comment.
I can't provide any other updates.
Yeah. So we'll just leave it at that. And I think everybody knows what we're talking about. So you just when things are under investigation, you just got to leave it alone.
Yeah. So the thing is you have to remember that we have to ensure the integrity of all of our cases.
Right.
And to do that, we have to provide the most respect to those cases as well when we're working on them. So there's limited information that we can always give on open and active investigations.
So there you go. No comment. So unfortunately, that's what you're going to get on a lot of things, but that's the responsible response. So we're talking with Jessica Drake. She is Public Information Officer with Sheriff's Office. How is Sheriff doing, by the way?
He's doing good, staying busy.
So I was talking, his name came up a couple of times when I've been talking with Mayor Vogel about the situation with needing more courtroom space and how it would be so much more convenient for you guys if courtrooms were in the same building. And, all those kinds of things and just the different things. I mean, and there's nothing's been decided, but there's just there's all kinds of theories and ideas on how to make it easier on you guys because you'll have to secure the buildings.
Well, the sheriff is the custodian of the courthouse.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that has to go in. We have to ensure the safety of everyone in there. Yeah. So that's including the judges, the public, the staff, the inmates, everybody.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of moving parts into that kind of thing. And you have everybody that uses that. You have the judges, you have the attorneys, you have the staff, you have the public. There's all these different facets that go into making those decisions.
Well, and that's one thing too. I know my husband's wanting to bring the kids through for tours and stuff, and that's a big issue. Is because the safety and the scheduling and all that, it just makes it a little bit difficult. Yeah.
Scheduling is probably one of the that's one of the biggest things when it comes to law enforcement is scheduling because with our jobs nothing's ever concrete in what we can schedule because of course if something happens then
everything changes. So and I think something too, and we've talked a lot about this when Jess has been in, but our SROs that we have in the school system, they're part of the sheriff's department.
Yes, they are not employees. Yes, they are not employees of the school district. They are employees of the sheriff's office. They are post-certified deputies. They uphold the law just like everybody else. Being a school resource officer is does not make them any less law enforcement. They are a deputy of the sheriff's office, and they act in that capacity.
And the kids love them. I mean, we have got Sergeant Rippy. Is that right? Is he sergeant now?
I believe he's corporal.
Corporal. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yes. I forget because I'm always wanting. I'm always wanting to answer.
James Rippey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's corporal.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
We've interviewed him a couple of times. We've done some little things with him in our little studio, and I was like, make sure you address him properly. And then I messed it up. I'm so sorry. They're about to have a baby, so I was very excited. But the kids love him. Absolutely love him. They have such a great relationship with him, and it is so sweet to see because it's just such a great influence.
And being a school resource officer,
Yeah.
that is obviously number one job, of course, and you'll hear it out of my mouth time and time again in any one of our divisions and capacities that we hold, and that is safety and security. And it's safety and security of the schools, making sure the students are safe, making sure the faculty's safe, all of that. But on top of that, it is also building those relationships for our students, making sure that they feel safe while they're there, making sure that they know they have a safe space, a safe person that they can go to if they need to. Creating that bond, providing, a lot of people don't know, but our SROs also provide education too. They teach a lot of classes to our students as well. And it's providing those good influences and positive interactions. And not only are they there for their safety, but they're also there to help develop our future leaders, because the kids in the schools, those are the ones that's going to be running this place down the road. And it's all about influence, positive influence.
Yeah, for sure. And he is a great influence. We really love him a lot. I know when we had the ACT all set up the other day, and so the classes that weren't taking ACT, the kids, they had a demonstration with the dog that came in, and it was awesome. But it just he does a wonderful job. But as far as how many SROs do we have? How many are there? Oh, because every school has one.
Every school has an SRO. Some schools have two. We've just added more SROs with the last budget. So it's more than 26.
Yeah.
I know that.
Because, I mean, Springfield has two, or do they have three?
Springfield High School has two.
Just two. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the bigger schools you just have to because they're massive.
Yeah, and that's what you need. The bigger schools do have the two SROs, which is really needed, just because of just the large capacity of those buildings.
Right. And as far as hiring, are you hiring? Do you have any open slots now?
We do have some open slots, but
that's kind of an always thing.
Hardly.
It's better.
Surprisingly, I think so. Before the budget, before we got our pay increase, significant pay increase, which was life changing for our deputies, we were at almost 30 openings, which is, when you've got 195 employees, 30 openings that's a lot. Yeah. That is a lot. And now we are down to 8 openings.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So what kind of openings are we talking?
So corrections.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all we have right now.
Oh, wow.
And we do have an NCIC opening, but we've already interviewed for that. So I think we're in the that is basically, they're the ones that enter in like all of our warrants, and they do what's called like hits. So basically, if someone's pulled over or something and their information is ran and it's determined that they have a warrant out or things like that, they can run it and determine that for you. So they're basically the hub of all the information.
Okay.
So yeah, all we have right now is corrections, and we're doing really well with that. We're getting numerous applications. We have probably doubled the amount of applications since August of last year than we had all of 2022.
Well, that pay scale, that's huge.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
We've always had the amazing culture. That is one thing that we are very proud of, is to have the family atmosphere. We run, our sheriff's office off of God Family Job. So the culture has always been there. And so now it has really put us in a competitive market with everyone around us. And so now we have both sides of it that we can work with. And it's proven. I mean, you can just see in the numbers. I mean, from August to now, we've went from almost 30 openings to 9, and those are pretty close to being filled. So if you want to get in, put your application in.
Yep. Get it in there.
Yep,
And so what kind of pay are we talking? Is it an hourly job? Is it a salaried job? How does it work? How's it structured?
It's hourly.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have corrections that starts off at $25 to $25.88 an hour. And then the like patrol and SRO, they are $27 an hour to 27. I think it's like 92 or something like that.
Okay.
Starting out. And then, of course, each year it's a 3.5% pay increase based off of, the approval of the budget by county commission.
Right.
So you definitely have a very good increase each year that you can get. Yes.
How does it work for an SRO? Because when they're out for the summer, do they, how do y'all work that?
So
schedule-wise? I've always been curious how that's structured.
Basically how that works for school resource officers is most people think our school resource officers are school hours, right? They go to school and they're done. No, our school resource officers probably work more than a lot of the staff because they're the ones that they have to do. They got to be there before anybody's there at the school. Yeah. They got to be pretty much the last ones to leave. And then they work all the ball games all year long. Yeah. So they develop comp time throughout the school year. And they work so much that by summertime, they have accrued so much time that they can actually take off the summer. And it doesn't, they're not taking vacation or sick or anything. This is time that they worked over all school year. Okay. To take that time off. And, but also, they have to work summer school too. We have the great camp that we do. The summer is also for their in-service and all their training that they have to do before the school year. So they don't get the entire summer off. Right. Because with school resource officers, they're designated for specific schools. So it's really hard to get all of your SROs off at the same time to do their training and things. Sure. So a lot of the training, as far as the main training, will be done during the summer for them or during like we just had a big summer or a big training for spring break. So during like the breaks and things like that is when our SROs can do their training. So it's not just school hours and then they're done. They work a lot during the school year.
That's interesting. And, because I see Corporal Rippey everywhere. Yes. And so, and I knew that they were, if it's his home game, he's responsible. But then I saw him pop up at one, because, my husband's helping coach in some capacities in the middle school. And we were at some middle school game and I'm looking, what is he doing here? And he was filling in probably for somebody and working. And, I just see him all over the place. Yep. And, they're just so dedicated to what they do and they love what they do. He's got a military background too. And so it's just cool. It's just cool
our SROs,
they're just awesome.
They love what they do. And you can tell when someone has a passion for what they do because you're an officer, you're in a sense a teacher, you're an influencer, you're everything. You're just a multi-faceted person.
Well, and Aaron is kind of chiming in. He goes, yeah, that's what I figured she'd say. So I just thought that was kind of fun. But if you have any questions, we're talking with Public Information Officer from the Sheriff's Office. Jessica Drake is in the house. And probably one of the main things we've been talking about for the last couple of years is the shortage that they had some needs. And it's just good to hear that you're getting those things filled.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's an amazing feeling. That is for sure. Yeah. We're very blessed and very fortunate.
Very good. Absolutely. And so we'll continue. If you have any questions, you just go ahead and you can send those in. We do need to pause for a moment and we need to talk about one of our sponsors, which is Cumberland Connect. Are you a Cumberland Connect person? Do you have Cumberland Connect?
No.
You don't? No. Do you not live? Do you have Cumberland Electric?
Yes.
Okay. You need to check out Cumberland Connect. Yeah. This is so good.
I've had it before. I really liked it.
It's good stuff. We get a gig for $80. I had a little situation the other day where mine was starting to act up a little bit. And so I called them. I called that 1-800 number And I got to tell you guys, I got this nicest person is 800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. And she said, looks like you need an update. They did it while I was on the phone. And I mean, I was having upload speeds, download speeds were something in the neighborhood of 800 megabits per second. And then the uploads were in the sevens. It was insane. I mean, that quickly they got me updated, back running at top efficiency, and $80 again, guys, will get you a gig. I had $65 a month I was paying for terrible service before I had the opportunity to switch to Cumberland Connect, and I mean, I had a 3.5 download speed. It was terrible. And now to be in the 800s, 700s, it's crazy. $80, you get a gig. I turned everything else off. That's all I have anymore, and I just stream what I want to watch. And it is great. If you want a package, though, they've got all kinds of packages that provide all kinds of television or connection to the local stations. They have also got an affordable connectivity program. If you're somebody that says, $80 is a lot, LaVern, well, you can go and file for the affordable connectivity program. And for qualifying households, you could get up to $30 credit per month to help pay for broadband services because it's a utility now and everybody needs it. And guess what? They've got packages starting at just $30 per month. So go figure. It is an awesome deal. Great folks to work with. You can go to cumberlandconnect.org or call that 800 number again, 800-987-2362. Put in your address. If you're a Cumberland Electric customer, and it will tell you when to expect them to knock on your door. And odds are, if you're in Robertson County, they're probably already there, and you just need to set up a time to have them get you installed. And when you talk to them, always let them know that U-Turn sent you. If anybody has any questions for the Sheriff's Office, now is the time to ask them. We appreciate Jessica coming in kind of an awkward time because we missed a couple of times. So we got this one in. Mm-hmm. We actually have Law Enforcement Day. We try to make the third Monday of the month. So Caleb Stratton will be coming in. I almost needed to call him last night. Do you know anything about hunting season? Is it raccoon season or something?
I'm the last person to ask on that one.
I got to call him. Well, we had somebody, it looked like they were hunting out in our front yard on the hillside. And we're like, come on. Our dogs were going crazy. So I was like, I am not calling anybody on, Easter night, though, to bother them just for that. But that's one thing. Do you have, we tell people, come and enjoy our property, go fishing, do all those things, but we do not allow hunting. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because I don't want you shooting around my house.
Yeah.
I just am not. And if anybody's going to hunt, I'm going to let my kids hunt, and they don't even hunt. And plus, too, I have a Great Dane that looks an awful lot like a deer. I mean, I told my husband, I said, as big as he's getting, we're going to have to put an orange vest on him next year during hunting season. I mean, truly, to keep him from getting shot. So we don't allow hunting. We let you hike and do, fish and all that, but no hunting. And so what do you do on things like that? If I have to call the Caleb and them if I've got something like that going on. But if I've got just trespassing, I don't know. They may have been just hiking in the middle of the night.
Yeah, if you got people on your property that you're not sure who they are or why they're there and you haven't given someone permission, just call Central Dispatch.
Okay.
And they'll send a deputy or TWRA, depending on what the situation is.
Yeah, and you hate to bother people with stuff like that. But, and two, you just ask people.
Your property is your property. That's what we're here for.
I guess so, but I sure didn't want to bother you. I'll tell you one more thing. Do you have anything? I know you got that list there. Is there something you want to touch on that we haven't talked about?
No. Okay. I just kind of put some little things that we've done the past couple months down if we need to talk to them.
Then explain to people before we wrap up our time that might have not heard about the SOS program.
The Senior Outreach Service Program.
Yes. Go ahead and unpack that for us. I think people forget that's there and the app because with the weather coming up, if something's happening bad with the weather, you're going to get an alert on the app. So why don't you kind of unpack all that for us in the last
we have we have the SOS program, and it's anyone that is, I believe it's 65 years or older or has a disability, and they just don't really have anyone to regularly check on them. Their family may not live in town, or they just might be by themselves, that kind of thing. You can sign them up for the SOS program through the sheriff's office, and basically they're assigned a deputy, and the deputy contacts them once a week to check on them, to make sure if they need anything, if they've got their food, if they got their medications, if something's wrong, if whatever their needs are, and then they'll reach out to local services throughout the community that we're connected with for that program to get them those services that they're in need for. And a lot of it is, they just want somebody to talk to. Yeah. And our deputies they build great relationships with them. And they'll stop in and check on them, see how they're doing. Our deputies love to just stop by and, sit down and have a chat. Some want them to, some don't. It's, what their preference is, you know what I mean? And so it's definitely a great program to kind of give you that peace of mind, especially for family that don't live near maybe their elderly parents or things like that, to know that they are regularly being checked on by a deputy. So they can always just contact the sheriff's office or Lieutenant Nick Roberts, who is over the program. He heads all of that, and he'd be happy to get them signed up. You can sign up just by calling the sheriff's office. You can sign up through the app. You can sign up online. You can call Central Dispatch, and a deputy will come out and sign you up. There's all sorts of different ways for us to do that.
I think it's a great program.
And also, it doesn't even have to be your family. If you know somebody on your street that that they're elderly or they're disabled, and you never really see any cars there, and you've always wondered if they're okay, you can contact us and let us know, and we'll reach out to them and see if they want to be on that program.
Right.
So it's definitely, and it's one of those things that it's a word of mouth kind of program, because obviously the ones who are on the program probably are not the most technological savvy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not on Facebook seeing the ads or anything like that. So it's definitely a word of mouth program. So please share it, tell people about it. We do have pamphlets. You're welcome to come up. We'll give you pamphlets to hand out. It's a community effort, that's for sure.
Very good. And somebody mentioned it to me the other day, and it may have been, I was talking with Corporal Rippey about something, and I was just talking with the kids, about different things going on. And I think that's when it came up. But now the app as well. Just make sure that you go to Robertson County, Tennessee,
not Texas, not Texas.
Oh, yeah, because when I first went to, and I very quickly realized I was on the wrong one. Yeah. I'm like, this doesn't look right. I'm like, wrong state.
Well, when you get on it, Sheriff's face will be right there.
Yeah, so. Exactly. That way you're at the right place. Very good, very good. But anything else we got going? What do you think?
It.
Yeah, I tell you, we're just, sliding in. I will, we've got Caleb coming in still this month to talk about all the stuff going on in wildlife resources, and may have a visit from the chief's office, police chief's office here in Springfield. I think people forget that. We have, I'm just going to tell you a funny right now, because I had a sheriff, I guess it was a sheriff deputy, pull me over because my tags were expired and I had a headlight out the other night.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was
that all happened.
Yeah. And I wasn't paying attention. And so he pulled me over, and, he told me, he said, hey, be sure and get that stuff done. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And then I pulled back on the road, and literally, I hadn't gone a mile, and I got pulled over by a city officer. And I'm like, I came all the way from Mount Juliet, and nobody stopped me. But in Robertson County, man, they're on it. Yeah. And they were, they were just trying to make sure hey, you got your headlight out, And that was the main thing. And it's like, oh yeah, your tags are 2 weeks expired. And I'm like, ooh, I forgot. So I got all that done. But it was so funny because I got sheriff's office, and then I got the city too, and it was just kind of funny. I'm like, I got it. I'm going home right now. I'm not taking the car back out until it's fixed. But it was so funny. So they're on it, man. They're getting it done, and they didn't give me a ticket. They gave me a warning.
Sometimes it's about education.
Yeah,
and a lot of times, it happens. You do forget.
Yeah,
you do. And a warning is just a heads up is all you need sometimes.
Well, the deputy goes, have you ever been pulled over? I don't see anything on your record. I said, it's been a long time. I'm getting old enough now that I'm that Tokyo grandma that drives too slow, and I try to stay to the right. I try to remember because I'm real cautious now.
Now, if you don't get it done and you get pulled over again, you might not get the warning next time.
I got everything fixed. Well, I had the tag was expired. The lights on the tag were not working.
Yeah.
And my left headlight was out.
Oh, well,
so I gave
the trifecta.
I was like a mess. And so I went home and I told my husband, I said, I'm driving your truck if I'm out at night, so you better get this stuff fixed. And he did. So it's all good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tommy a big hug.
I will.
Well, yeah. So for sure, we got to get him together with not my youngest grandson anymore, but I've got one the same age. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, Lacey Bew is going to be in the house. It's going to be everything Willow Oak. It's getting old. Carnival coming up to that big extravaganza that they have every year. So be ready for always fun and bright and festive. Miss Lacey View will be in the house. Thank you for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Jessica.